Paper capers had to crash unit chasers for the Fed. Helicopters trying to locate and stop us. What's the truth? Crime in LA is through the roof, and they'll shoot you if you come in to testify with the proof. It's the truth. Crime in LA is through the roof, and they'll shoot you if you come in to testify with the proof. It's the truth. Crime in LA is through the roof, and they'll shoot you if you come in to testify with the proof. It's the truth. Crime in LA is through the roof.
This summer's full of excitement with hot events brought to you by PlayStation 2. Always on the cutting edge of pop culture, PlayStation 2 pulls out all the stops at the first ever Wizard World, Texas. The 3-day convention will encompass comic books, movies, television, toys, animation, and the latest from PlayStation 2. 989 Sports and PlayStation tour the nation as part of the U.S. Army All-American National Tour in search of the best high school football players in the nation. School-wide tournaments will determine 2 lucky winners who will ultimately get a trip to the big All-Star Game to battle it out on NCAA GameBreaker 2004. Visit the website for further details. The Suzuki Heisman Tour is bringing the Heisman Trophy to schools with serious award contenders. In addition to taking a photo with the most famous trophy in college sports, students can also sample products, win t-shirts, pick up free issues of ESPN the magazine, and test their skills on NCAA GameBreaker 2004 from 989 Sports. Check out the schedule and see if it's coming to a college near you. Hey basketball fans, vote for your favorite NBA All-Star and NBA arenas and have a chance to win a PlayStation 2 computer entertainment system and a copy of NBA Shootout 2004. Or visit Circuit City stores nationwide to cast your vote. Don't miss the coupon included on the 6 million All-Star ballots and pick up your copy of NBA Shootout 2004 now.
From time to time, a game emerges that is so fun and so addictive that it becomes ruler of its genre. In the world of role-playing games, the Final Fantasy series is king. In the last installment of the series, Final Fantasy X, the creators came up with a cast of characters and locations that were so compelling that no one wanted to leave it all behind. So for the first time in Final Fantasy history, there is a true sequel, Final Fantasy X-2.
There has never been a true sequel to a Final Fantasy game, one that keeps the same storyline and characters. Since it's never been done, I never considered doing it for Final Fantasy X.
Because the quality of 10 was so high and it was so well liked by everyone, a sequel was highly encouraged. We were already considering a sequel because we'd never done that before in the Final Fantasy series. I think the appeal of the characters and the world presented in 10 stayed in our hearts and the users' hearts.
The idea for the sequel actually originated with a short story that was included with the international version of Final Fantasy X called The Eternal Calm.
In Japan, we released the international version, and we added a short story, approximately 20 minutes long, about what happened afterward. Many users told us they wanted to see even more.
So ultimately, The Eternal Calm is an epilogue to 10 and prologue to 10-2.
Like all good sequels, 10-2 manages to strike just the right balance between introducing new elements and returning to the familiar favorites of the original. In this case, the creators brought back two characters we've met before, Yuna and Riku, and introduces them to a girl named Pain. Put these three females together and you've got an unstoppable trio, with the right skills that can save any town and topple any beast.
We wanted to try something different that we hadn't done in the Final Fantasy series. We never before tried a version that was centered on female characters. Since Yuna happened to be one of the main characters in 10, we decided to move our focus to her and her friends by having them go on a journey.
In this version, I wanted women to play with the emotion of being the main characters themselves.
One change from Final Fantasy X that you will really appreciate is all of the great costumes that not only give you additional abilities but also make you look good.
In the world of 10.2, there is a thing called a dress sphere, which allows characters to change their costumes. And by inserting it into the garment grid, the costume change becomes possible, within limits. Also, the garment grid itself has some functions. During a battle, the more costume changes that happen, the more powerful it becomes. This version was made so that if a player cannot win with one particular job, he or she can switch to another. The personality of each one is so strong and unique, it might become clear that they can win with one job, but not with another. Switching between the spheres makes the battle easier, but on the other hand, the longer a player studies a job, the more powerful they become by learning new abilities.
Gamers will also appreciate changes made to the battle system. They are now in real time and allow the characters to move around simultaneously, harkening back to the days of previous Final Fantasy games.
In the last version, time stops during the battles, and the player can take time to think while fighting, as he and the enemy alternate turns. In this version, we use the active time battle system, as we did in 9 and in earlier versions. It allows real-time battle with time running. Also, we upgraded the system so the two can move simultaneously or can counterattack. Compared to 10, 10-2 is much more action-oriented.
And for those of you who have never played a Final Fantasy game, you've been missing out, but it's not too late. You can jump right into this one without knowing a thing about the past.
New players can completely enjoy Final Fantasy X too. The battles and the character development are created in a way that users can have fun, even if they didn't play the previous version.
Whether the girls are dressed to kill or dressed to boogie, you'll have plenty of opportunities to explore and test their powers within a truly non-linear atmosphere. You have the freedom to jump from mission to mission, experience different endings, and really control your own fate.
The highlight of this version is the freedom given to the player both in battle and in determining the scenario. In Final Fantasy X, the players followed the story. This time they create their own story and write their own endings.
Because there are so many possible endings, the player can play the game almost endlessly.
And if you prefer a little guidance in going from one mission to the next, feel free to use a tool called Active Link. It can come in pretty handy.
Active Link is something that leads a player to the next location after clearing a mission. Though the story is up to the player, this will help players decide what they might want to check out next.
And if you have played Final Fantasy before, then you're in for another awesome adventure.
I guess that playing Final Fantasy X will make it even more fun. What can I say? I think attachment and knowledge of Spira allows one to realize and appreciate some of the differences of 10-2.
So it looks like the creators of Final Fantasy X-2 thought they could win our hearts and devotion yet again by simply giving us a fun plot, updated locations, more freedom, and an action-oriented battle system. And they were right.
Seven, 38, 39, 40, 41. 2 minutes, 41 seconds. My longest yet.
Yuna, it's time!
Coming!
You're diving like a real pro, yeah?
You'll always be the pro, Waka.
I don't know. It's been so long since I trained.
You have gotten a little chubby.
Oh, no.
And you're not even the one having the baby. It's been 2 years. I've learned how to hold my breath for more than 2 minutes now. It takes more than physical strength, and there are some tricks you can't be taught. It took practice, lots and lots of practice. I just had to keep trying until I figured it out for myself. And you know what? Back then, I didn't think there were any tricks to it at all. I didn't have time to think. An eternal calm. A slightly chubby Waka. And my 2 minutes 41 seconds. It's not much, but it's enough.
Lady Yuna, it is a pleasure to meet you. I heard your speech 2 years ago in the stadium, but seeing you this close, you look so much more... I mean, you are truly beautiful.
That's very kind of you to say.
The reason I've come here today is to talk to you about my grandson. He's joined the youth league, you see. I've nothing against the league, mind you. It's just me and the missus belong to New Yevon. My grandson used to attend all the party meetings with his parents, of course. That is, until one day. I'm sure being around people his own age can't be bad for the boy. Still, I am worried about him. I feel, how shall I say this? Like our grandchildren are moving too quickly.
In the last 2 years, new groups have been springing up all over. Everyone wants to be part of a new age. Everyone wants to build a new age. Everyone wants to build a new Spira. And they're all racing to find their own way to do it.
I only want what's best for him. But it troubles me when we agree on so little.
People have different ideas, and sometimes they disagree on the right thing to do. Some people worry about what the new age will bring. Sometimes I worry too. I just have to tell myself that for now, I'm doing the right thing. I understand how you feel. But Testio, maybe you should try talking to your grandson first. He may walk a different path, but I'm sure he wants the same for Spira, as we all do.
Hey there!
What is it? Another visitor?
No, I just wanted to chat, yeah? It's just the old folks in the village. They'd like to see you get,
And who is it this time?
Well, they're saying it's the son of the chairman of New Yevon, yeah?
Tell them no. He would only use me, after all.
Right. I'm sorry.
Don't worry. I'll go tell them myself.
No, you leave that to me, yeah? You really don't want to see them anyway. You know how they get.
Yeah.
Lady Una! Lady Una, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Yaibel. I've come on Youth League business. I bring a message for you from our leader, Maven Nuge.
She's not interested in joining, yeah?
Oh?
Is that why you've come?
That is correct, my lady.
I'm sorry, but I will not be joining any group.
Perhaps the lady will start a group of her own.
Leave us, please.
Yuna! Waka!
Riku sometimes visits us here in Besaid. She's been traveling around Spira, salvaging ancient machina and teaching people how to use them. It's tiring work, but you wouldn't know it from looking at her.
Hey, cut it out!
Love sure got a handle on you. Where's Lulu?
Back in the village. Go say hi, yeah?
You betcha. And Yuna, you seem the same as always.
Yeah, same as always.
Is Kamari still on Mount Gagazet?
Yeah, he's been up there teaching the orphan Ronso all kinds of stuff. He's like this big guru now. Oh, that reminds me. I got something for you. Where is it? Here we go. Kamari found it up on the mountain.
A sphere?
Funny looking design, yeah?
Take a good look, Yuna.
It was a voice from the past. No, it was a voice that's never left me.
What is this? What's he doing? I mean, is that really him? Is he, what's going on?
I'm not sure. But you want to find out, don't ya?
Well, yeah, but...
Yes! Let's go then!
Go where?
Well, that's the tricky part. I know! Kimari found the sphere. Let's go talk to him!
Whoa. You sure you're ready to just run off? Can't you wait until we find out a little more first?
And just who's supposed to do the finding out?
Leave that to us. I'm sure Maven Nuge will agree to help. In fact, I volunteer to ask him myself.
Beat it, yeah?
Understood. I shall return as soon as possible with a full report of our investigation.
Well, look, I really want Yuna to go.
She can't do that.
Why not?
Because she's book solid for 3 months, yeah? And everybody wants to see her.
Oh yeah? Well, what about what she wants?
Well, yeah, but... Okay, maybe once things calm down, you know?
And what if they don't, Waka? What then, huh? I don't believe it. After everything Yuna did for us. Why can't she just do what she wants to do now? Why? You know, every time I visited here, I wondered, why is it that when everyone's out making their dreams happen, and everyone's getting their chance, Yuna's dreams are on hold?
Gee, it's not like you... Ooh.
What do you know anyway, Tubby? Yuna?
I want to journey again. But if I leave, I'll be disappointing everyone else. I want...
What's the point of pretending to be all grown up if it means the things I want to say never get said? How am I supposed to change anything?
I'll go.
Yuna!
I know it's selfish, but this is my story.
Right on! I knew you'd say that, so I brought something just for you.
Give me a break.
First, a costume change. You need a new look. You are a celebrity, so incognito's the way to go.
But wait, you two. I'll go get Lou.
An eternal calm. A slightly chubby Waka. and my 2 minutes 41 seconds. It's not much, but it's enough. Still, it's okay to want more, isn't it? Riku, let's leave. Let's leave right now.
Hi, my name's Don Hahn, and I'm the producer of The Haunted Mansion. Well, you may remember The Haunted Mansion from Disneyland, Walt Disney World, but we're talking about The Haunted Mansion in a way that you've never seen it before. Because we're bringing The Haunted Mansion to the big movie screen. Part of putting a movie together is putting together a great team of designers and artists and filmmakers to make that film. The ringleader, the centerpiece of the whole film, is our director, Rob Minkoff.
Eddie Murphy and his wife play real estate agents who get a call one night to go and take a look at the mansion. Of course, what they don't realize is that the mansion is haunted. And one day they actually take a trip out to the mansion together as a family. And late one night, the storm floods the roads, which forces them to spend the night in the haunted mansion. I think Eddie Murphy is an actor that has been able to reach across generations. You know, he has so much appeal and is so funny. To get a chance to see him experience the haunted mansion is something that I think people are going to want to see. The big challenge is bringing the mansion to life in a way that the audience has never seen before. You may have experienced the ride, that only goes so far. And what we're trying to do is create a world in which the story can take place and try to create a ghostly environment for our heroes to grapple with.
The mansion itself in Haunted Mansion is actually a character, a personality, and the production designer, John Meyer, just won an Oscar for his production design for Chicago. His beautiful sets help to contribute to this feeling of a spooky, wonderful, mysterious place that we have to go explore.
We love the idea that the whole thing takes place down in the South, in New Orleans, and being able to get all of the environments you get there, to go through the swamps and the marshes and the hanging moss. When we first start doing sketches of what we think the house should look like, and then once we start getting closer as far as the illustrations go, I like using foam core models, and that's actually what you see behind us right now is a little foam core model of it. We take a little video camera, and we put in little figures, and we walk through it. It gives you a pretty good sense of what it might look like. So once we get the models to a state that we like them, we've then been dropping it into a 3D world. So we found this wonderful area called Sable Ranch, and when we saw it, we thought this might be the perfect place to build the mansion because we could build it in a grove of old oak trees around a swamp. What you're looking at right now is a 4-story structure that through a CG top-off will become 80 feet tall.
Mona May is our costume designer. Now, Mona has a unique challenge. She has to come up with costumes for our 999 ghosts. And believe me, this is like nothing you've seen before.
The best part about this film, it's actually not just a period picture, but it's fantasy. So it's just a dream for a costume designer because you can do anything you want. This is our beginning stages of developing the costume ideas and trying to get together a look. That's really the fun part of figuring how can we melt the two different times, you know, the past and the present. We start with a huge Mardi Gras, which is wonderful. You know, it's going to be just opulent with masks and feathers and bright, bright gowns and huge bustles. Right here we have ideas and concepts for the graveyard, which is yet another amazing part of this film and, you know, very, very creative place for us to play. Because now we have the characters coming to life and coming out of the graves and, you know, we see them all over the graveyard. So when we actually shoot the ghosts, the clothes will be the effect. We'll have just really crazy costumey things. I love to create something completely different, have the freedom to create a completely new world and use textures that people have not seen.
Part of the fun of bringing the Haunted Mansion to the screen is creating the 999 ghosts that'll haunt you when you go to see this film. Who better to do that than the spectacular 6-time Oscar-winning Rick Baker?
I'm hoping that we can duplicate almost every ghost that's in the Haunted Mansion, and that's what I would like to do, and just update them a little bit, but still stay very true to the designs. I'm taking the work that's in the Haunted Mansion and kind of making it a little bit more real and making it so it'll work on actors. And it's, for the most part, they're going to be people in appliance makeups, rubber pieces and hair pieces and so on. We decided we needed to populate the graveyard with more ghosts, and a lot of our designs have been trying to come up with, if there is such a thing, kind of a funny way that people have died, in kind of an obvious way, so that when you happen to see this ghost in passing, you can tell that what happened to him. For example, there's like one that's like a William Tell kind of guy, has a little apple on his head and an arrow in it. I think right away you can tell what that is. So we're coming up with a lot of fun things for, if there is such a thing, for dealing with somebody's demise.
Stay on the ground. Can I stay on the ground, please?
Dark spirits from the grave, come forth.
Don't you make no dark spirits come out while I'm sitting there. Wait till I leave before the dark spirits come out.
The Haunted Mansion.